While most people will have heard the story of Anne Frank, they may not know the other side of her incredible and sad diary, that of Miep and Jan Gies, who were responsible for hiding the Frank family, a tale depicted in National Geographic's A Small Light. Premiering on May 1, 2023, A Small Light recounts the true story of a Dutch couple in the 1930s and 1940s, Miep Gies, Belle Pauli, and Jan Gies, Joe Cole, who helped the Jewish Frank family hide from the occupying Nazis from 1942 to 1944. There have been several movies and TV shows about Anne Frank, but almost none about the people who hid her. A Small Light gives an account of the lead-up to the Nazi occupation in the Netherlands, the Franks' time in hiding, and the aftermath when the Nazis uncovered their hiding place. The 8-episode miniseries has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and earned a SAG nomination for Pauli's performance. While A Small Light does take some liberties, it's for the most part a factual account, and the feeling of the series hews to the real emotions and motives of that decade. Miep and Jan Gies were a Dutch couple who were close friends of the Frank family. Miep moved from Austria to the Netherlands during World War I. Miep Gies and Jan Gies were in fact a real-life Dutch couple, and much of A Small Light is based on Miep's 1987 autobiography and Frank Remembered and the 1995 documentary based on that book, via Smithsonian Magazine. Miep was born in Vienna in 1909 and was originally named Hermine Santraskits. Because of the destruction brought on by World War I, Hermine's family sent her to the Netherlands as part of a charity program to care for children affected by the war. She was eventually adopted by her foster family and given the Dutch name, Miep. It was in the Netherlands that Miep began working as a secretary for Otto Frank, Liev Schreiber, at his packaging company, Opekta. Otto had moved his family to the Netherlands from Germany in 1933 when the Nazis gained power and anti-Semitic hate began to grow exponentially, via USHMM. Jan also worked at Opekta, and it was there that the two met, later getting married in July 1941, shortly before the Franks went into hiding, via Digital Spy. While working together, Miep and Otto grew close, frequently discussing the worsening political crisis in Europe. The Gies family hid Anne Frank and her family during World War II. The Gieses ended up hiding 9 people in their home and in Otto's office. Miep Gies, Belle Pauli, brushes Anne's, Billy Boulay, hair in a small light. Despite fleeing his homeland, Otto Frank was unable to escape the grasping hands of the Nazi apparatus. In May 1940, Germany invaded the Netherlands and defeated the Dutch army in just a few days. The anti-Semitism the Franks had fled was now at their front door, and in an even more evil state than it had been previously. Otto handed ownership of his company over to Jan and another colleague, Victor Kugler, Nicholas Burns, and served as an advisor in accordance with new anti-Jewish laws the occupying force established. Then in the spring of 1942, Otto suddenly approached Miep with a request to help his family while they were hiding. He gave no more of an explanation and Miep asked nothing else. She later recalled the moment shortly after that conversation. Margot Frank, Ashley Brooke, the eldest Frank daughter, received a notice to report to a forced labor camp with other Jewish people. Though it wasn't totally understood at the time, Margot had just been ordered to submit herself to a concentration camp. While the exact nature of these camps wasn't fully known, most people understood they were not somewhere anyone would want to be. Otto expedited his plans to hide his family and moved them into a room in his office building at Prinsengracht 263, hidden behind a bookcase. Miep personally brought Margot to the room and Margot was quickly joined by her family. Otto's business partner, Herman van Pels, Andy Nyman, his wife and son, and Dr. Friedrich Fritz Pfeffer, Noah Taylor, later joined the family in hiding after coming to Miep, trusting her to find them a place to hide. The 8 refugees in Otto's offices were kept alive by the combined efforts of Jan, Miep, Kugler, Bep Voskagel, Sally Mesham, Johannes Kleiman, Ian McElhinney, and Johan Voskagel, who does not appear in the series. Jan was a member of the Dutch resistance, and as a social worker, could move freely throughout the city, procuring ration cards and illegal papers when needed. While Miep was in charge of getting food, Jan visited the family nearly every day, bringing them books and news and keeping them company in a dark and lonely time. Unbeknownst to the Franks, the Gieses were also hiding Kuno van der Horst, Preston Nyman, a young man who refused to declare his support of the Nazis and who was in danger of being deported himself.